This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. We try each day to make sure that we're learning, that you're learning, that we're entertained some, and a lot more. We're going to cover a lot this morning, so bear with me. These are 8 of the stories that we're following today. First, Target is tanking today after missing on earnings. We've not seen that from Target in some time. The last I looked, it was down about 18% this morning. Walmart is still holding its own, but I think all of the big retailers are a little concerned as we head into the holiday season. Also, some expressing some concern about tariffs in the Trump administration and so forth. We'll see how that all plays out. Second, Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, they've invested in 4 new companies this last quarter. 2 of them are existing things that they owned, but they've invested in Domino's, Pool Corp, SiriusXM, and Heiko. And we just point this out, and Motley Fool covered this morning, because many of us would do great in following what Buffett invests in and what Berkshire invests in. It's like the old days of what would E.F. Hutton do, what would Warren Buffett do. So that's that. Third is 4 thoughts for leaders, and we'll just walk through this relatively quickly. It's got a separate podcast too. Appreciate the great people and customers you have. When you're looking for the next addition to your team, when you're looking for the next great customer, make sure you're doubling down and taking care of the core customers that you have. Second, keep working to solve problems. We often say the ditches won't dig themselves. We use this concept of you need to dig 10 ditches before they start to dig themselves to start to articulate until a flywheel gets going in something. You've really got to form for what works. You're going to have to put a lot of effort into figuring it out and then doubling down on it, tripling down on it till it starts to create ongoing benefits. Third, create and cultivate more leaders. The best indication of a great leader, besides the results that they show when in leadership, is their ability to both create more leaders and to create a firm that thrives when they are no longer at the helm. So sort of the greatest leaders leave their firms in great places and develop the next leaders in the succession plan. Fourth, don't create or escalate problems for your successor on the way out. Work on steady, healthy transitions. The 4th story coming today, and we talk about it often, Walmart keeps rolling. The market cap's up at $670 billion, $77 billion. Sales and earnings for the quarter beat estimates. The stock's up 60% year to date and 3% yesterday. It had about $170 billion in revenues in this last quarter. They're the largest by revenues in the world, Amazon being number 2. 5th story is sex, and Hims and Hers is up 164% year to date. Grindr is up 69% year to date, 69.5% year to date. It's almost hard not to note the 69% number when talking about Grindr and sex, and it's a little embarrassing, and I apologize totally. So creepy. 6th, drugs. CVS is down 30% year to date. Walgreens is down 68% year to date. Walgreens is local. We cheer for their success. Eli Lilly still having a terrific year, based on the GLP-1 drugs. 7th, cars. Tesla up 40% year to date. Lucid down 50% year to date. Rivian down 56% year to date. Speaking of cars, not long ago, I traded in a car and bought a Nexus. The Lexus. This may be one of the nicest cars I have ever had. It's not an overly expensive one, the NX 350s, whatever people follow cars, but it may also be the nicest and the most unexciting car to drive, but it is what it is. It does the job. It's nice. It's practical. It's all those things. Finally, 8th, we're now watching MicroStrategy, which is a big holder of Bitcoin. It's now at 560% year to date. It makes me feel like a moron for having sold out of Bitcoin at some point, but it is what it is and never dull. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Always great pleasure. Again, P.S. Today the markets are down on some different concerns, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you for listening so much. Always feel free to text or message Scott Becker, 773-766-5322. If you're the first one to text, we'll send you a $100 Amazon gift certificate. Again, Amazon number 2 in revenues after Walmart. Thank you very much.